Beautiful ladies of the press too. We are senators from Kwara State, the state of harmony. One of the very best states in Nigeria. You very much know the location of Kwara State, and you know the various ethnic grouping we have in Kwara State. We want to emphasize that we are everything Nigeria. We are both southerly and northerners. Of recent, there have been some issues in the media about Kwara State. Our meeting here is to assure you that Kwara State as a state is under the leadership of Abdurahman Abdulrazaq, the executive governor of Kwara State, and under our great party, All Progressive Congress. To assure you that today, Kwara State is doing extremely very well in terms of development on almost all aspects, both physical and human development. We are doing extremely very well. The old people of Kwara State are happy with us, very happy. From all the 16 local governments, we are happy. The government is functioning and functioning very well. We want to assure you that the issue at hand, we don't want to escalate it because it's totally centered on what happened some 2 years ago. On our own side, we feel that we have passed that milestone. We are in an era, and it's a very good era. It's an era where the slogan of Fotoge was orchestrated, and we are happy that today we have a new revolution in Kwara State. There are issues which we just touch in a very minor manner, and that is the issue of election spending. The assurance I will give to you is that our Governor Abdurahman Abdulrazaq, before he became the executive governor of Kwara State, is very successful person. Not only successful, is from a very solid family with a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of good people. And during the election, he came up with a lot of resources gathered together from his personal purse and from friends and family. And we didn't lack resources to run our election because we needed so much money to dethrone the existing governor at that time. And he did really assisted almost everybody who contested, including the senators, the House of Assembly member, and House of Rep member. Without prejudice to other people too, we want to say that everybody contributed to the success of our election, and we are quite happy. But our appeal is that peace must be given a chance. The state must develop, the state must continue to grow, and we can only do this when there's absolute peace, when there is trust in our great party, All Progressive Congress. We are, by this meeting, appealing to various people. There might be need not to agree totally, but we must focus on the fact that our people expect deliverables, and they are getting it quite well from the government. We are very confident that come next election 2023, because of the amount of work that has been done by our great governor and by our legislators, the senators and House of Rep. We are very sure that the whole people of Kwara State will be very sympathetic to us, and they will return us to finish another 4 years of good work. Thank you very much. I will leave the stage for my colleagues to talk.
Well, thank you very much. distinguished senator. Sorry, just a few additions to what Bashir has said. I think most of you know the slogan we came in waiting for, which is Otoge. Many people know what Otoge for what? I think it's Otoge for dictatorship, Otoge for lack of development, or for what we call state of poor infrastructure and poor governance in the state. So what we want to assure you is that we as senators, we are very much focused on this slogan and what it means and what it should mean for our people. To add to what Senator Ashiro has said, as senators collectively, we are working harmoniously with the governor. And the Otoge for dictatorship has been removed from our state. We have a collegiate, what I would call collegiate leadership, but whatever leadership we have, even when you have a family of a man and a woman without a child, somebody must lead. When children comes, when there are other distance, other parts of the family, somebody must be asked to lead. Even in a situation where, God forbid, if the man died or so, the woman will have to say, come to the role of leadership. In the scheme of things in the state, the governor is our leader, and we stood with him and we work with him. And we consult with him and he consults with us. When I said collegiate leadership, it means we in the federal, who are representing our people at the federal level, we try to take the dividends of democracy to the people. In doing this, we do this through the governor. And I will illustrate with just one example, which is even happened today. Today, one of the bills passed by the Senate was the bill on neuropsychiatric hospital, Budegba, Kwara State. Before this bill came on board, I moved the idea of having the hospital, I consulted with the governor. The Budegba, where the thing will be located, has a facility, a health facility owned by the state. So the governor wrote a letter to say that the state is donating that facility for the federal government to establish the hospital. This letter was written to the Minister of Health. So the minister towards that now sent a team to the state. It was the governor that hosted the team. What I mean by the governor, it means through the apparatus of the state minister of health. They inspected the facilities, they granted the permission. So that is the collaboration we are talking about. We as legislators, you can see, we initiated an idea to say, oh, federal government, we need to move a federal presence to our state. The governor came up to say, yes, this is what I need to do. We have done this severally on all other aspects, just like the distinguished senator has said. And this is what we are delivering. That is the first part of the Otoge. The second part of the Otoge I want to emphasize is to say that we are taking development. The governor, as the leader of the state, we have massive infrastructural development going on in our state now. Every nook and crannies, you see a lot of roads. The senator may speak later. I mean, as he said, we represent Nigeria. And as we said in Nigeria, also if you like the structure of Nigeria, you have, with all due respect, the southern part is much more developed in infrastructure, education, and so on. We have another part being slightly backward. The same thing is happening in Kwara. The senatorial district represent, in the past many years, have not witnessed development, as you can call it. Many communities have no water, they have no roads, they have no this. As we have a government, the government of the state has now touched all the local government with one infrastructure or the other. So also we are doing across this. And this is what we think our people need. This is what we are delivering. And this is what we want everybody to focus on. We are just 2 years out of 4 years. So it's not time for politicking and anything. And to emphasize finally what he said again, for any electionary process, there must be coming together, there must be resource mobilization, and there must be resource utilization. I want to assure you that during the elections, there was nothing about anybody going away with any money. Every resources that was put together was used effectively. And if, whatever it is, they said the ends justify the means. The end has justified the means because we won all the elections, all level of elections, 24 House of Assembly, 6 House of Representatives, 3 senators, and the governor was delivered. So we call it 35 zeros in the state. So to be able to do that, despite whatever it is that's put together, it means it was used well for us to do that. So, as he said, we as senators, our role and what we want to do is to bring everybody together. And we are doing this and continue to do this. I want to assure you that the focus should be the people, not the individual holding position. As individuals, we are there today, we will be there for a while. We have to leave. But what remains is the people. And that's the last thing I want to say, that our Otoge is about the people to matter. And it's because people matters, that's why we are elected. And the people will continue to matter. It's not about individual to matter. But of course, we need the leadership. And as I said, the leadership is collegiate and we continue to work together. Thank you. Distinguished Senator Siddiq.
Yeah, a little to what has been said so far. Kwara State today is better than what it was before. The people are happy. We can see visible infrastructural development. We can see visible social development. The educational sector and the health sector has been priority to both the state government and those of us at the federal level. So the people can see clearly that what they voted for, what they struggled for, the Otoge movement is worth it. However, after a revolution, it's expected there will be some disagreement, isn't it? Even our individual family will still disagree between children. So what it might appear a disagreement in Kwara State is just one of those little post-revolutionary challenges. But we can assure you, Kwara State is still a strong, solid state that is just looking to the future. And the journey has started. The evidence is clear. If you see, even economically, there is prosperity. Now, 3 flights move into Kwara State in a day. 3 different flights, fully booked, fill up. So things are picking up. You go into businesses. We had challenges a few months ago during the NSAS. Businesses have been raised down, and within a few months, those businesses have bounced back, and prosperity is returning. That's what we want to see. That's what Otoge is all about. Now, there is leadership in Kwara State. We all know in the Nigerian federal system, the governor will remain the leader of the state, isn't it? We have a governor who is taking his leadership very serious, and we are all very happy with him. However, beyond the governor and the leadership, there are other layers of leaders. We have stakeholders both at federal level, at state level, and at the community level. Now, this area is what we are working hard to reconcile, where all stakeholders get to understand the concept of Otoge in the better perspective, like my colleague is trying to explain. It's about the people, a departure from the past. Let the people see a difference in governance. And all these stakeholders, us in federal level, at the state level, at the community level, we need to find the best way we can manage this success and cooperate together, giving respect to every partner in this realm. And like I said, we have a governor. He is the leader of the state, and it's important that every stakeholder join hands and work with the leader of the state in the interest of the state. Thank you.
Let me lay the background. I don't know whether you are here when we screen the ministers. Are you there? Yes, sir. You were on the floor. What did you see happening? The governor was sitting down, wasn't he? And then we spoke online, isn't it? We did it to make sure that Alhaji Lai did not have to answer questions, did he? Because we spoke to say that we should take a bow and go after we have made speech. I think myself, I think maybe Siddiq or about 2 or 3 of us made speech. That's to show you that we work harmoniously together. 2, regarding the governor, the ministers and us, we are one. At the federal level, just like Senator Siddiq said, the senators, House of Rep members, and the ministers, not only Alhaji Lai, including the Minister of State for Transport, we work together harmoniously for the state. When there are things in the federal to be able to take home, we take it. Now, we cannot deny the fact that there are challenges between the governor and the ministers on some issues of the party. But this way, as senators, we are able to come in between the two, we are able to speak to the two, and we are working very seriously to see that that is resolved. And I think that is the position where we are. But as we said, that does not affect, one, the party in the state. The party is still one APC in Kwara. The registration that we were talking about, we conducted registrations, all of us were at home, and we are going to have our congress starting from 24th in Kwara. And the party registration is continuous in the whole country, even for everybody. It's not only in Kwara. So anybody that has not been registered is allowed and is given the opportunity. Alhaji Lai went home to register and he showed on the television. Now, but the third thing is what we are emphasizing, is that the people of the state are still struggling with APC. But like any large family, like anybody that goes through revolutions, there are always bound to be some family disputes. So that family dispute, we are working hard on it and we are resolving it. I think that's what I want to say on that question.
Yeah, maybe addition. Alhaji Lai Mohammed is from my senatorial district. We belong to the same place. and we work harmonious together during the last election. After the election, we are still as friendly as ever. He's a big man in the party, there's no doubt about it. The assurance I will give you is that in the senatorial districts, which I represent, with Disown Lai Mohammed, there's no discord within the party. There's no disagreement within the party. The party is one in that senatorial district. The difference we have has nothing to do with APC as a party. And principally, what we are talking about here is about APC. There's no difference in APC. It's about the government. There's no difference in that government. About our senatorial district, there's no issue with our senatorial district. So whatever is there might just be personality issues, which will take a very little time to resolve. I always tell people, don't get yourself too entangled in this process, because if you do, the day Disown Lai and the governor will be dining and whining together, you will not be there. And I'm very sure people are listening to us. Whatever may be the issue, it's just a matter of time, very short time. Everything will be over.
PDP will not return to Kwara State, not in the near future.
Not in the near future.
And I tell you, no politician that loses election will go to sleep, isn't it? You are going to continue to struggle to try to get to power. But the people of Kwara State are the people that are going to decide that. And I assure you, they know the difference between yesterday and today. It's a difference between darkness and light. I assure you that. You can go independently and go and check that out. So that's not going to happen. Now, secondly, you did say that the national party recognizes the governor as a leader of the party. So you've already answered yourself. If the national party recognizes the governor as a leader of the party, we are all here, the representative of the people, both in Senate, most people in House of Rep, almost everyone in House of Assembly, a lot of stakeholders, we still recognize the leadership of the governor. So the governor is irrefutably the leader of the party and the state. Now, answering that Disown Lai has opened a fractional office. That's true. I also saw that on television. And I'm sure you guys, you've been here for a lot. You know what politics is all about. There will always be disagreement. Everybody will always act based on his understanding and his wishes. And you also said there will be revalidation. No, he answered you before that the registration is still continuing. We have not finished registration in Kwara State. Anyone who said it's not registered, like Disown Lai has said, they are free to come and register anytime before the congresses. There will be no any fractional APC in Kwara State. That I assure you is not going to happen. We have leadership in Kwara State, we have a focused government, and we know where we are headed to. But there will be disagreement in moving towards that Congress, but that disagreement will be resolved very, very soon. Thank you very much. One chance. I didn't want to bother about it because it's just side talk, it's political talk. The governor is not a one-chance governor, because I tell you something, most of you here, at least over 90-something%, you are either Muslims or Christian, maybe a few religions. Does God make mistakes? Do you think God makes mistakes? In 2019 was a revolution, and God loves Kwara. God has demonstrated that in the way we won the election. And this governor, God choosing, is God that made him the governor. And from what we have seen practically, I think God does not make a mistake, because the governor is living up to expectation that the people expect from him. Other stakeholders might have a different form of expectation that is probably not able to meet up. It's natural. But all of that is still going to be looked into as we move into this journey. Thank you very much.
Thank you. That's okay.
Thank you, sir.
So who are you seeing?
Let's just find it, because it's Chairman rule and business. We'll pass through after plenary. I'm sure the plenary is almost. That's the last item. After plenary.
I'll get it. Okay, sir. To get. I didn't know they have started all the good. They have no.